right, all right. Hello, Kira. How's it going?
Hello, it's going good, going good.
Wonderful. We want to thank everybody for joining us for our monthly financial wellness conversation. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, if you do me a favor and go ahead and share the post, we would be extremely appreciative. Again, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, please go ahead and share the post, and we'll be extremely appreciative. Pinned to the comments at the bottom of the comments that's listed at the it's pinned to the top of the comments, but down close to the bottom of that comment from us, you'll see a link to where if you want to actually join in the actual conversation, the verbal conversation, you can click that link and join us on the Zoom platform. Or we'll try to make sure that we pay attention to the chat to include your comments. But again, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, please go ahead and share the post, and we would be extremely, extremely appreciative. I'm now going to put you in the hands of the coordinator of our financial wellness ministry, Kiera Hall.
Hello, everybody. So, the topic for today is financial freedom and how to attain it. And what I wanted to do today is actually um, show a film that my company made that's like really good, interviewing um, four, well, actually more than four, but multiple people who have attained wealth or either are part of generational wealth, and they're basically just breaking down like the rules to the money game and how to win the money game. And you know, I really believe that most people can become financially free. Um and it's not necessarily because you have some six-figure paying job, but there are people who make 40,000 a year and 50,000 a year that are diligent and they use the right financial principles, and over time they create wealth for their family and they create generational wealth. So it's not about having a ton of money, but it's more so about knowing the right things to do with the money. And the reason why I said most people, not all, is because I do have situations where there's a family who maybe they're really in poverty, and when we look at the budget, they're literally like in the red and they're just trying to float. And so of course you have to get beyond that situation to start building and attaining wealth, but anybody can do it. And it just takes discipline and dedication. I think the same way that anybody can improve their health, but it's just about like understanding your health, knowing nutrition, working out, which working out is as simple as taking a walk around the neighborhood. So we're going to talk about financial wellness and financial freedom and how to attain it. And I'm going to play these videos. We'll have them in little clips. Like each clip is about 3 minutes, and one is like 4 minutes, so it's less than 20 minutes total. And then after each clip, we'll have an opportunity to have like a little bit of discussion after each segment. So the first segment I will play will be segment one. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to make sure my sound is sharing, and then my segment one should already be pulled up. Yep, part one. So I'm going to go ahead and make this big, and I'm going to hit play, and then we'll be able to discuss it. But this is a really good film. I love it. And it just, opens the door for you to learn, not just creating wealth for yourself, but like literally intergenerational wealth and like changing your family. And so you may have not come from a millionaire, but millionaires can come from you. You could be the person to create that. And then the education is what keeps the wealth going. And so even with our kids, like right now, if you're tuning in, like let those teenagers join in, even the 10-year-olds, but let those middle schoolers and high schoolers join into the conversation, and the fifth graders will probably understand it too. But let them also be a part and see this, because that's how you keep wealth going. Some parents, they're nervous about leaving a lot of money for their kids. They feel like their kids might blow what they work so hard for. But if you train up your kids and you teach them good money principles and you're open with them, and they understand, and they can keep it going, because they weren't just given it, they understand it and they're educated. And so through that, they're empowered and they can just keep that going for generations. So let me go ahead and hit play, and then I'm going to mute.
Wall Street, the epicenter of business and finance for the entire world, and the cornerstone of our economy. Within just a few blocks of where I'm standing are some of the most powerful financial institutions and investment firms in the world. This is where fortunes are made, as billions of dollars are traded every single day. But as impressive as all this sounds, the difference between all the people who work in these towers and you is simply a sound financial education. The people here on Wall Street understand the concepts of how money works, and they implement them every day to help their clients build wealth. The basic rules of making and investing money haven't changed in over 100 years, and they are the foundation of the intergenerational wealth phenomenon. The rules of the money game never change, and fortunes have been lost when these rules were broken. It can all seem complicated, even a bit intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. Your stress about money, or the lack thereof, will never go away until you get educated on the concept of how money really works. I'm not talking about how you spend your money. I'm talking about how you choose to invest in your family's future. That's the difference between you remaining stuck where you are today and having a chance to achieve the peace of mind that can come with financial independence. Would you believe it if I told you that 64% of all workers live paycheck to paycheck? You would be stunned how many people haven't even saved at least $1,000 to cover unexpected emergencies. However, there is a significant segment of the population that is saving money at record rates. Why is this important to you? What if I told you that you could build a business in the largest, most powerful industry in the world, where $85 trillion are on the move? Would you be interested in learning more about it? To learn more about the market and how to capitalize on it, watch the next film.
Oh, so that's the first video, and basically what the idea highlights is not only having the education, but the opportunity for some who may fall in that category to take that education and say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna make money helping teach others how to do this. And so, I can say as like a mom with multiple kids, this opportunity has been a blessing for me. Last year I was able to cross a milestone of earning $50,000, and that was really huge, because when I used to work on my full-time job, I wasn't even making $50,000. I was making like $15 an hour. So it was like less than 40,000. And one thing I will tell you is whenever if you have any type of desire to start any type of business, entrepreneurs 50,000 is way different from a W-2 50,000, because you get opportunities for things like tax write-offs. Like I have some family members, and they both make pretty good income, but they understood the power of entrepreneurship. So in addition to their careers in the medical field, and like literally like high up in with the fire department, they have a photography business, and that photography business allows them to take advantage of keeping more of their money. And so getting in financial services is one great way to earn extra income, but there's so many good ways. You just have to look at like, who are you and what is your talent? And maybe earning the extra income piece is not something that you need, but more so of just the education. And so as we go through these videos, you're going to learn about different education on like financial concepts, using them for yourself. And then know that you could reach out to me if you say, hey, you know what, I would love to teach and share this with others and get licensed. And and build my own business in financial services. Um, so that's just that first little introduction. Before we go on to the second video, I know that one didn't really go over a lot of info. It was just kind of like, hey, this is what we're gonna do. Does anyone have anything they want to share? Maybe in the Facebook comments. I need to log in and turn my volume down so I can see who's commenting on Facebook Live. Um, or anybody on Zoom have anything that they want to comment or share just from the first segment of what we've heard so far?
Not yet.
Okay. So I will go ahead and play the second part. So share. This is part 2. There we go. Make big.
In every sector of industry, there are defining moments
Can you hear
and
it?
waves that you must
Yeah.
catch as they occur.
Okay.
A financial tsunami, which experts refer to as the intergenerational wealth phenomenon, has been building for more than a decade, and it's headed our way. Exactly what's at stake here? Just how big are we talking about? Let's break it down into 3 parts. An estimated 45 million US households will transfer $68 trillion in personal wealth over the next 25 years. Another $17 trillion is on the sidelines, in cash, money market funds, CDs, and bank savings accounts. And that's how you get the $85 trillion market. With all this money on the move, it's more critical than ever that people get a proper financial education. There are 10 basic threats to the success of your financial future, and it's important to stay out in front of them. This is where the lack of a proper financial education can lead to real trouble. The intergenerational wealth phenomenon will forever change the landscape of the investment business. There has never been a moment this big. Thanks so much. These days it seems like there's a shiny new business opportunity around every corner. But we're talking about a multi-trillion-dollar industry, and you have a chance to be a part of it. What if I told you there was a company with over half a century of experience, positioned to bring proven, time-tested financial concepts from Wall Street to Main Street North America? To explore a new career path that could reshape your family's financial future, watch the next film.
Unmute yourself, Kira.
So something I want to point out in this part is there's this wealth transfer, and as each generation goes by, so like the well, no, now I'm gonna mix them up, like baby boomers, Gen X, millennials. I forget. I just know I'm a millennial. But basically, what's happening is you have like one of the largest groups of people who are passing on, and as they pass on, their assets are being transferred. So that's what, when they talk about that asset transfer, that's from one generation to the next. So people who are retired, they're passing on, but everything they built is going to their children or family members, whoever that they left to inherit that. And sometimes when people inherit money, they sit it in the bank because that's all they know to do about it. But this opportunity of educating people and helping to make their money work for them is huge. So my mentor, we were a couple weeks ago, I was like at a meeting and learning, just thinking about pension. So we're all familiar with a pension. Ultimately, pension is like this guaranteed income for life. So it's money that you create to keep going. That way, one day you don't have to keep working for your money, because your money is just coming in, like it's passive income, right? And what my mentor was showing me was that by getting 6 million in assets under management, so basically what that means is that I have helped all these people, and in helping these people, the cumulative amount of money that is under like me, of people that I've helped, total 6 million. What that 6 million would do is that 6 million, when we just think about like the stock market and averages, even the last 1,500 years, it would double about every 6 years. So a person who has 500,000 today, when they're invested and it's growth oriented. On average, they could expect that 500,000 today if they just let it grow and don't do anything with it. That in 6 years now it's a million. Another 6 years now it's 2 million. Another 6 years now it's 4 million. Never adding another dime, but that's just compound interest and how it works. That's the doubling time, and depending on where your money's invested, maybe it's every 6 years it doubles. Maybe it's every 10 years if it's less aggressive. And but essentially the money that you have, as you don't touch it and it's growing, it compounds, so it doubles every certain amount of time. um and so basically what my mentor was sharing was that by helping people with investing their money, which everybody's money is going to be somewhere, right? And he was showing that if you help them, you literally would create a growing pension for yourself. So when you establish that first 6 million of assets under management, he was like, that would pay passive income of, what was the number? I should have wrote it down. Well, I did write it down. Um, but I don't want to take too long trying to search it out on what page it is in this book. But essentially, it was a yearly income of over 30,000. I want to say 46,000, but I can't remember if that was 10 million or 6 million. That's a big difference. But it was definitely at least 30,000 a year, I think. And so then in 6 years, that 30,000 of income flowing in would then become 60,000. Another 6 years, it becomes like it just keeps doubling and doubling and doubling. So it's like a growing income. And so basically, this is the industry of helping people with investments, the financial industry. And typically, when you think of like the financial industry and people with investment license, like majority of people in this industry are older white males, like over 55, white and male. But there is a huge opportunity because the truth is, like, all type of markets have money. Like black people have money, Spanish people have money, Indian people have money, Chinese people, like all type of people have money. And so when you have diversity in that industry, people are able to, work with somebody who understands them, know where they came from, and now you can help them. You might reach somebody who was never able to be reached before because you're in the industry. So I'm super excited that I get an opportunity to make an impact, because a lot of my clients, they look like me, because most of the people I know are where I come from. Now I serve everybody, but it's an opportunity to begin to create wealth in my community. And then, as you learn about finances, whether you're working it or not, just simply knowing it, you now become that pillar or that person who can pass on that knowledge so people can get the education and continue creating the wealth. And so it's talking about wealth from like two sides. You'll see, like, one side is like it's showing the numbers in the market to show how vast the opportunity is of people who need to be served. And then also knowing that, like, the people who do this type of thing, like, there's way more real estate agents, way more doctors, and way more lawyers. And so but this number is so small, and it doesn't, there's not really the capability, there's not enough financial advisors or people in investments even to like serve how many people who need it. So before I go on to the next video, I want to give my commentary on it. But did you have any commentary on anything I said, or anything that you heard in the video so far about this idea that, wow, all these trillions of dollars, and this is just talking about like the US, all these trillions of dollars are literally being passed from one person to the next because of it's something that's inevitable. We all pass away at one point, but we have to have the education and planning so that we can continue like what we built. The next generation should not have to start from ground zero. We should be like just continuing to go upstairs, continue to build on what the last generation built, and having that education to continue to do that. And there's, so yeah, I don't want to ramble too much, but Dada, did you have anything, or does anybody else have any comments or ideas on what you're thinking about as we talk about this intergenerational wealth concept and knowing all this money that's literally like sitting out there?
No, I agree. I think a lot of it just really comes with just financial literacy and understanding, how money works, and it doesn't always have to be at a complicated level. I remember, when you all were in middle and high school, um, you all understood if you made a small investment, you can make a larger investment. So you all used to go to Sam's and other stores and buy these big boxes of candy or whatnot, because you wanted spending money, but you understood that if I take this $20 and I go and make this investment, I could make $50 off of it, and then out of that 50, I need to set aside some so I can get more supply, but then create something for myself. And I think even little small things, and so like even now, even our grands now, and even the children in the church, we give them an opportunity to be young entrepreneurs, and the people in the church support them, but then you try to teach them to see the value, in one, you know working, and then two, trying to create some type of income so that you can have something. So if it right now it just might be a 6 year old just enjoying having some money in their wallet, and so when they go, to the store, with a parent or grandparent, they have their own money, but they had an opportunity to see that the money didn't just fall out of the sky. That there was something they did, and it created something. So I think then as you get older and you understand what money does, but how you have to be educated on it and value it, I think you become a good steward, with the money that you have, and put yourself in a position to that matter how big the income bracket comes, but you're able to discipline yourself to where you can reach financial freedom. Whether you're making $50,000 a year or $500,000 a year, you know how to discipline yourself and make that money work for you, so that you can have you know comfortable and nice years after you want to get out and grind working.
Yes, and you made me think about her. I'm trying to remember what her name is, but she's a young lady at our church who's just been getting scholarships left and right. And
Yeah.
she, I think it's Shania, or is
Sh-
it Maya?
Shania. Maya is her mom.
Shania. So Shania, I love how she like had this thing. I don't know if she put it together or somebody else did, but it was basically saying like debt free degree, and I thought it was so awesome.
So it's her.
Because debt is definitely an enemy to building wealth.
So it was her mom's desire, for her children to get a debt free degree, but then she had to sell her children on it, and so Shania is the one that just graduated, and Shania bought into her mom's vision, and so what Shania did is every scholarship that we sent to her, and then some on her own, she just applied for it. And sometimes that's the most difficult thing, is having that kind of drive for a child to understand money, and she understood her mom's vision, and so she would just apply for scholarship after scholarship after scholarship, and so most people are looking for the big home run, where you get this one big scholarship and it pays for everything, but she was patient and disciplined to grab 3,000 here, 200 here, 800 here, 2,000 here, and it all still came up to what the big one was, but her mom and her dad had to put it in her to have that type of discipline and tenacity, to be able to stay encouraged and understand that it doesn't always have to be the home run that you hit. That singles add up into runs also, and so that was good. But her parents put that in her.
Yeah. And so, and it just goes back to what I was saying at the beginning of like this whole financial conversation is not like just an adult thing. Like this needs to start being instilled early, and it really pays off. I remember my parents, um, showed me their budget and talked with me about their finances. And then when I started college, I remember like having my budget out in advance. Like my friends, they might like stop by lots of fast food places, but I would grocery shop. And I would just be very intentional about um just like actually having a budget. Like some people um they don't budget. And so it's just helpful to have just those good habits instilled. And then it becomes a different conversation, in a different way of thinking, and we can start instilling it into our kids now. Like right now I talk to my kids, sometimes they ask me for stuff, and then I might tell them like, well, yes, you do have some money, but you don't want to spend all your money. Like you want to invest some. That way you can be able to be financially free. Because if you always spending all your money, you'll always be like a slave to like needing to make money, as opposed to being free to, um, you know, to maybe do things that God desires for you to do, or work on some things that may not necessarily be lucrative, but it's something that you should be doing, or something that you're passionate about, or a gift that you have. And so, I think life is way more than just like paying the bills and um working and paying the bills, working and paying the bills. I think that there should be purpose and passion and serving, and making a difference. And I think that as we discipline ourselves, we free ourselves up to, make an impact, and begin to, um the better we do with our money, the more that we can give and like make a difference, like in our community and those around us. So I'll go ahead and share the next video to spur on conversation, and then after that, it'll just be one more short little video. So let me go ahead and make it big. It's part 3, how money works.
You work hard for your money. You should know how to make your money work hard for you. I know we keep saying it, but it's that important. The key to financial independence is to learn the concepts of how money works. These concepts are also the key to building a business based on teaching other people how money works. Let's look at some examples. Rule number 1, understand the high cost of waiting. The longer you wait, the more you will have to put away each month to reach your retirement goals. Rule number 2, pay yourself first. If you put aside just $50 to $100 every month, you can get ahead in the savings game. Rule number 3, learn the rule of 72. Your money will double at a certain point determined by dividing 72 by the percent of interest. A one-time contribution of $10,000 doubles 6 more times at 12% than at 3%. That's the power of compound interest at work. Albert Einstein called compound interest the most powerful force in the universe, and he often referred to it as the 8th wonder of the world. 1% of the population controls more than $41.5 trillion in personal wealth. So what's the difference between you and the 1%? They know how to make money grow. Have I convinced you why you need to get a financial education? That's where Primerica comes in.
Our purpose transcends financial services and really is about empowering, uplifting, and educating the hardest working people in the country. That's the middle market, the nurses, the teachers, the everyday people who give their life in service and just want to get a little bit ahead for themselves and their family.
A financial education is so important. Everybody needs a financial education. I mean, think about it. When we go to school, we learn how to make money. We know why we need to make money, but no one understands the concepts of how money really works.
The most important thing from my perspective, for my clients and everyone I deal with, is for them to experience freedom in their lives.
And the way we come into a person's house and just look over their finances and do the FNA and show people what they need, I think it piques their interest because it's not complicated. Our people are, regular people, and I think they feel comfortable with us, and we're able to teach them how finances work and what they need in their particular situation, what's right for them. and in a way that I think does not make them feel intimidated and opens their minds up to the fact that they need us.
Every meeting begins first with questions, getting to know the client, their objectives, their concerns, and even their dreams. And then as we dig a little bit further, we start creating a customized financial needs analysis. This is where I collect the data, I fill in all the numbers, I take that away, do some research and homework, and then come back with a proposal that is completely customized to them.
Just because one makes money doesn't mean they understand money. So many people that we talk to, they're really good at what they do, but they're not that good at money. And having a company like Primerica in your corner lets you focus on the things that you care most about.
By teaching people how to invest their money, you also give them the power to help other families create intergenerational wealth. To get more information on how to start a new career with Primerica, watch the next film.
Forgetting to unmute. So it was pretty fast. That last one, as it went over the rules. So I'm actually gonna I have the rules in a book to where you could actually have that and a lot more. You go to the realhowmoneyworks.com, and there's a book with the concepts, there's videos. So if depending on how you learn, if you prefer to read or you prefer to watch videos, it's broken down in like multiple ways. So I'm gonna share that website real quick. Let me exit out of this video. Let me make it smaller. Oops. Okay, so I don't need that video anymore. And the book, so this is the website, How Money Works. And when you go on that website, like, it's completely free and it's a great resource. But it has like the concept.
What happens here on Wall Street isn't rocket science.
One of the videos
Anyone
is playing.
can take advantage of the same.
The next video is trying to play. But the website has a book you could download. It also has like different videos going over like the different concepts he talked about, like the high cost of waiting. So like the sooner you get started, the better. The longer you wait, the more you have to put away to hit the same goal. There are some people who are literally in a state of panic because they might be in their later 40s or 50s and they have not put away nothing yet for retirement. And as you can see, to hit a goal, a 27-year-old needs to put away $214 a month, whereas the 47-year-old needs to put away almost $1,500 a month to hit the exact same final number. And so just the principle of like paying yourself first, like savings, compound interest, understanding that like how money works. Let me move. Okay, sorry about that. My kids are trying to be a part of the meeting, but not in a productive way. So they're not really at the age yet where I think they're gonna get any of this conversation. But they'll tune in later. But yeah, so this website, it has the different rules. It even deals with understanding about like debt, life insurance, dollar cost averaging, becoming a owner, not a loaner. Like there's like a lot of good different stuff on here. And then there's the book. So like if you click the little link that says book, you don't have to put in your email or nothing. Like, so you don't have to worry about like getting on some list or somebody contacting you. Like you literally click book, could get yours now, and then boom, it just takes you straight to PDF. So you don't have to worry about like being spammed or people blowing you up or having to put your information in. You don't have to do that. But if you are listening to all of this and you're like, wow, no, this is really good. Like I would like to get a financial needs analysis. I would like to get a personalized financial education and be able to talk with somebody about my goals. I definitely would love to help you with that. School's gonna be starting up for my kids next Monday, and so that's gonna free me up more, and I'm gonna be, busier helping families with their financial goals. And I'm going out to visit a church in about 2 weeks and doing a How Many Work seminar for them. But this book is like powerful, and it's only 44 pages, but it's more like a magazine. So like literally in 30 minutes, you will get so much information. Like, you'll learn about life insurance. What's the right type of life insurance? What's the wrong type? Like, there was a whole article about a 72-year-old on Yahoo Finance who paid into a policy for over 36 years just to end up with no insurance and no savings, because it was explained to her one way, but the contract worked the way that it said it in the contract, which that's all that matters. Like, if you have to go before a judge, they don't care about what somebody said. They want, well, we got Judge Ross on here, but it's, you signed the contract. What matters is what's in that contract. And so when it comes to finances, I always tell people, like, don't get into stuff you don't understand. If you don't understand it, you seek out, you ask more questions, because you work hard for your money. And last thing you need is that somebody causing you to lose your money or you get ripped off. So you continue to ask questions. And if somebody feels like you're being too difficult, doesn't want to answer your questions, then they're probably not the right person to help serve you with your finances. Like, you go to work and you work very hard. And so whoever serves you should be somebody who can respect your finances. And you could definitely count on me as that type of person who will answer every question, no matter how big or small the account is. Like, I have clients who have invested over $75,000 with me, and then I have clients who invest $25 a month with me, and I treat them both the same. And what I find a lot of times, the people who maybe are getting started, never done it before, $25 a month, $50 a month, maybe $100 a month, sometimes they have like way more questions than the person with a bigger account. This bigger person with a bigger account usually kind of already knew a little bit about investing. And so I take the time to help people on those things and how to reach their financial goals. But it's just so important that we take control and change our things. So this book, I won't go through all of it, but it's like, if you read it, it's so easy to understand. It's not one of those like complicated things. Like, it's so simple. Like, I think a 10-year-old could read it and understand it. That's how simple it is. So you don't have to worry about being, because some financial books I read are confusing. It's like, what are they talking about? It's like another language. But this one is really good. And it's just giving you just key things, just breaking it down. It's super simple. Things you can't control. Your employer. I mean, I've met people who've been on their job 20 years, and then next thing you know, their employer sells it to another company, and then a whole bunch of people get fired, and the firing had nothing to do with them. Like, they were on time, they were hard workers, they're amazing. But you can't control taxes, you know. I mean, we can vote, but at the end of the day, we can't, like, we don't have control over this. Like, and so we don't need to stress and worry about things we can't control. Rising costs. Look, I mean, I guess you can grow a garden if you don't want to go to a grocery store. But at the end of the day, like, these costs, gas, everything is going up. But we can control saving for retirement, other sources of income, ways to reduce taxes, like being an independent contractor, or like adding like a side business onto what you're already doing, maximizing savings, paying off and consolidating debt, and just different diversity of investment choices. And so those are the things that we focus on, like what you can control into reaching your goals. And so this book is really good, and it's really short. It's only 44 pages, and it's lots of pictures, and so it's just a really easy read that can change your life. And then I'm a person who literally can like take your hand, hold your hand, and help you to know, okay, what's the priority? What do I focus on first, and how do I do it? And there you can go in and ask those specific, detailed, and customized questions. Does anybody have anything they want to share, like any comments or anything before I play the last intergenerational wealth video, which is the part 4, which is, it's another short little video. But does anybody have anything they want to share?
Yeah, and I just think people that are listening, a huge word is discipline, and so you have to be disciplined, to put yourself in a position and have a vision to come out from under debt. You have to be disciplined that when you come out from under debt, that you make wise choices and don't put yourself back in a debt that does not have return on it. And and then understand lifespans. Have it's not promised that we'll see tomorrow, but you still have to plan on tomorrow. And so discipline is real important in all of these conversations.
Yes, that is so true. And this book, like, it literally reiterates everything that you're talking about, like planning for the debt, the unexpected, the future, and just really getting it all together. So I'm gonna play this last video, and I'm just sliding through the book so y'all can see it. Like, it is really good. It deals with debt consolidation, like home ownership. Like, it is very thorough to everything about like personal finances, and it's a really powerful tool. So let's play this last video.
Investment strategies normally reserved for only the wealthiest investors. What happens here on Wall Street isn't rocket science. Anyone can take advantage of the same investment strategies normally reserved for only the wealthiest investors. Primerica was built to educate generations of families on the concepts that we refer to as how money works. By helping other people who need these concepts and products, you can build a business that generates full-time or even part-time income, multiple income streams, and residual income, opening the door to an entirely new career.
Ultimately, business is about helping people and making money. So when you think about the way that we help people, we can help people invest. We can help people with insurance. We can help people with their mortgage. We can help people with their debt. We can help people in a lot of different ways. Those are all different income streams, but they're income streams that are created as a result of helping people.
I think there's two things that people would really like. Number one, I think that people would really like to have a business, and I also think that most people would really like to help families. And when you have a company like Primerica where you can actually have both together, it's truly something special.
I'm building a business based on helping other people. It doesn't get any better than that.
What most of us really want to do vocationally is do something that matters, is to make a difference in the lives of other people. Helping families take control of their financial life, being able to help children grow up in a household that understands financial literacy and the concepts that we teach. It's one of the most rewarding feelings I think you could ever have.
There's never been a moment in time like the one we're in right now. The challenges of the recent past have invited people to reassess their priorities. Primerica gives people the chance to start a new, purpose-driven career, while at the same time having the opportunity to achieve financial independence.
So many people are looking to change careers, not just for money, but also because they seek more. They want to know that what they do matters and it's helping others. At Primerica, you can have both. You can have that purpose-driven career and still build financial independence for yourself.
I'm having more freedom and more flexibility than I've ever had before, but also we're helping more families than we've ever helped before. And I think the combination of that is just something that's beautiful, and that's what Primerica is.
Primerica is a purpose-driven business opportunity, but yet at the same time, it's also profitable. And when you can take both of these and you can put them together and work in a business that allows you to have purpose and passion and still be able to provide for your family, what else is there?
The massive intergenerational wealth market creates an opportunity for you to take advantage of this unique moment in history. Primerica offers you the ability to go into business for yourself and change your family's financial future by helping other people change theirs.
So obviously, I love this video. I love Primerica, but something, I had a conversation with one of my clients who needed to make more income. Like, when we reviewed her budget, it was like, you either, like, you need to get a job that pays this much, or you need to do a side gig to make this difference. But what I told her, I was like, maybe this is something that you want to do, or maybe there's something else. And it was cool because she was really inspired to get back into a passion, and she started a baking business. And so she's been like going out to events and like earning extra income. So like, I share this not to say, hey, Primerica is like the only business opportunity. I love it. I think it's great. I don't think it's for everybody. But I do think it's amazing. But there's two ways that you create financial freedom. Basically, or financial independence is another word. Basically, when you are independent, that means you're not dependent. And so To be financially independent, that means you're not dependent on the government or a job. And there's two ways that you could do it. Either one, you can have money working for you that you build up. So if you have $1 million in assets, and like I know accounts that have literally paid like over 5% in dividends for the last 74 years. Like I know investments have done that. I know some that do 8, but on $1 million, 5%, that's $50,000 a year, right? And that account still would continue to grow because there's other ways outside of dividends that investment pays. That's one way, 2 million, 100,000 a year, um, and so on, right? So that's one way of like passive income, being financially independent. Another way is that you have a business working for you. So some people, they own like a really cool um online store, and they have stuff that they sell, um that maybe it's like a digital product, or maybe they made a song and they have royalties, or maybe they I know people who own real estate, and they use a management company to run like Airbnbs for them, and they earn income that way. I know people who own I know a ton of business restaurants. I know people who own detailing companies, and they got to the point to where they actually have employees. But when I say a business, the key thing about business is that not self-employed, but a business, meaning that it can work without you. Because if you're self-employed and it only works when you work, it's still basically like a job. But so there's two ways: either a business that continues to make money without you, or your money that continues to make money without you in some type of way. And I think that is so key when it comes to financial freedom. I know real estate is one of the biggest things that creates wealth for people. They purchase a home, and then 5 years later, whatever, they're able to sell it, and it has all this equity in it, and they're able to like kind of get themselves in a position where they're not getting caught in like rent going up, 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 up. Business is a great way to create financial freedom, because now instead of being stuck in a certain hourly wage, or you actually can begin to get outside of the box, or maybe create a level of income that might go beyond your level of education. I know like one of my friends, Chris Harmon, he's come and spoke at the church. It was awesome when I heard his testimony, because I was like, wow, like I never would have known, because he's so educated. Like he talks very educated, and he's very business savvy. I didn't know he didn't go beyond an eighth grade education. And so that's one of my favorite parts about business is you don't have to wait for somebody to see the value in you. You just have to see the value in yourself and go and work hard. You don't have to wait for somebody to say, yeah, you're worth it, we'll put you in this position. And it's not for everybody. But the key is that you get something working for you, and you get yourself in a position where you can be free. Because when I ride down the road and I see homeless people, like I'm super grateful that I'm blessed with family and support, and people I love. But there are some cases where somebody, they're one injury away from being homeless, one sickness away from being homeless. But the more you save, the more you get your money working for you, and you put yourself in a position to where you just can't be taken out like that. And then it feels good to become financially independent. It's something to strive for and to be excited for, and I think everybody can reach it. It's just getting clear on, what does financial independence mean to you. Maybe it's only 4,000 a month. Like it doesn't. It's not a certain number. It's whatever that lifestyle that you desire and what that looks like for you, and then having that passive income that matches what you need to provide the lifestyle you want. Which is different for every person. So, does anybody have any questions or comments or anything? That's pretty much the end of my presentation about attaining financial freedom through investments and through business and growing income. I think the last thing I'll say is, if you would like a financial consultation or learn more about, well, what does it look like to get the licenses, and how could I get into the financial industry? Because the financial industry is very lucrative. Like um, when you um, a lot of times you can make in an hour or two what you what it might take you 1 or 2 weeks to make on a job. So it's a great opportunity to put on the side of your job to increase your income. That's why a lot of people go into real estate. They close one deal and they make $4 or $5,000. It took a whole month on the job, and so that one deal, it creates the space to start investing more in different things like that in the financial industry. Gives those same lucrative opportunities, whether it be your mortgage license or insurance or investment license and things like that. And so I'm here to support and help any way that I can, and answer any questions. Does anybody have any comments or questions?
Um, yeah, and I'll just speak to the people that really feels safety and making sure that you have a salary coming in, that you have insurance if something goes wrong, health insurance, you have things like that. Again, it just goes back to the discipline. That if you live within the means of the vision that you've set out for your life, I'm not a person that's going to take a major risk on investments because the way that I look at money, I'm not willing to be too risky with it. But I was just typing in, just when you're talking about for many of us in our community, the investment of purchasing a home, that throughout the country, it has a 5%, 5.5% appreciation rate, but over the last year, 23 and 24, I mean, there's been situations where there's been 28 and 17% appreciation rates, and so something like that, something that you're going to need anyway. You invest and you get your own, and you have a vision to for me, I know that I want to retire at 70. And so the way that I set my mortgage payments up on both of my houses is that when I turn 69, I want to have both mortgages paid off. And so what I did is I didn't set it up by 30 years or something like that. I set it up by the number of years from the time I did the mortgage until I turned 69, and so that's not a burden that I have to carry into my retirement. But in addition to that, you have an asset that's probably quadrupled or tripled in value, and so you may have assets of 800,000 or $1 million just in the homes, not to mention the other assets. And but you have to discipline yourself that as you decrease your debt, you don't you use that money, that additional money that you have to create to create and generate more money. And so I think that there's some people that are going to be more comfortable knowing that you have a guaranteed income that's coming in, and when you invest that the right way, when you retire, you're still at a place to where not only you but your children and your children's children can be impacted by what you leave behind, because you made the right investments. You were able to guarantee a certain comfort level, for those that will be following you. And so I just really encourage people, even if you have 9 to 5s or salary jobs or hourly jobs, that it's really the discipline that makes the difference, and as well as the knowledge about how money works.
Yes, yes, it's so important. And like a key word that stood out to me that you said was safe. And that's why I love what I talk to people about, time tested principles, um, things that have been successful for longer than we've all been alive, because we work hard for our money, and we want it to work hard for us. We want to see something from it. And so what a devastation it would be to like I to not understand where to invest your money and 30 years later, you're down the line and you're nowhere near the amount you have saved. And so now here you are, 70 years old, 80 years old, and having to have a roommate or live having to maybe rent out a room in your place, or saying, oh, I gotta still work. And it's a blessing to be able to work, but at some point, and I pray this, but in some cases, some people, as they get older, their bodies don't allow them, or their brains don't allow them to work the way, that they would like to continue to sustain that standard of living. And so I just share this information because my prayer is that people would get the information, get the education, start investing, invest the right way. And even in real estate is really good. But one thing I will say is, I mean, I guess you could do like a reverse mortgage, but it's so important to have liquid assets as well. In addition to the real estate, um, like, you could sell it and then now it's liquid. But um it's so important to have that diversity in investing, and to understand the whole investing world, because that same real estate that is so amazing, if there is not that financial security in those liquid assets, you could, like, there are people who lose the real estate, over taxes or just different things like that, or just the financial ability to, be able to keep it up. And so that's why the education is just so important. Education allows you to keep what you have and continue to grow it. And it doesn't matter how much money you make. There's so many athletes who make millions and then they're bankrupt, broke, have nothing to show for it. And it was because, they made $1 million, but they spent $1,001. So it really didn't matter. So it's so important to get this financial education, and I pray that everyone would be just so diligent and thoughtful about it. Tomorrow's not promised. My best friend passed away this year, and my aunt, and they were both very young. And so tomorrow's not promised. It's so important to have that life insurance. That way, God forbid, if you aren't here, you leave your family okay. And then who knows? Maybe you'll be blessed with long life. And if you do, you want to be prepared for that as well. Um, and just being prepared and having the education will make all the difference. So, and then, I don't go super deep and detailed into everything. I share like little tidbits and things, and some stuff I can't share online only because I have multiple investment licenses. And some stuff just can't be online. So if you want to dig more into understanding types of investments or details or specifics, I am more than willing to do it. I just can't do it on this platform, like on that's broadcasted on my Facebook, because my license is very important to me. It's like the same way surgeons, they don't broadcast their surgeries. And they don't broadcast personal client information. So there's more details and stuff in that I don't share it here. But if you have questions, you want to understand safety and investments and options and what does it mean and how does that work and history and getting the details, I would love to. I just can't do it on this platform. I have to stay surface level. And I share the education, but I just can't get deep into specifics because I don't know who's all watching, especially on Facebook, YouTube. So I don't even have the ability to get every person a prospectus, and there's rules that come with talking about investments and everything, and it's legal rules to help protect people. And so if anybody wants to get deeper into investments or any type of financial conversation, feel free to reach out. I would love to answer. But that pretty much concludes us for today.
All right, thank you. And so I want to thank everybody for joining us. Kira, we want to thank you for always being prepared and giving information that we can use to improve our financial wellness. And then just an announcement for the body. Brother Andrew Jackson, one of our faithful members, that passed away this weekend. We will celebrate his life one Sunday at 3 o'clock at the church. The viewing will be at 2 o'clock, and the funeral will be at 3 o'clock at Greater Bethel this Sunday. I think that's the 4th, I believe it is. August the 4th, I believe, but it's Sunday. But God bless you, and you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. See you tomorrow at noonday prayer on this same virtual channel. God bless you and have a great one.
God bless y'all. Good night.
All right.